5 is tonight, just hours away. If you're talking hoops on national television, you got to be talking to this man, Slick Rick the Bucher. Otherwise, you're probably, to some degree, wasting your time. One of the best opinions, one of the best minds in all of basketball. So, Slick, let me ask you this, and this might be the most pertinent basketball question that can be asked today. Did Luka Doncic, can he save his legacy with a win tonight?
No, he already saved it.
Oh.
Avoiding the sweep was a save. And by the way, for all those, because I said this, that he needed to win that to save his legacy. A lot of people brought back, well, didn't LeBron James get swept not once but twice in the finals? And his legacy seems to have been intact, seems to have found his way back. Didn't Shaquille O'Neal get swept in the finals? Yes. But in all of those cases, LeBron twice got swept by a defending championship team. Okay. Shaquille O'Neal got swept by a Houston Rockets team that just won the championship prior. So for Luka Doncic going up against a Boston Celtics team that has not won a championship and that we have more associated with choking in the postseason, to get swept out by them would have done damage that it would have been really hard for him to reverse. He avoided that. So we're now in the gravy stage. Oh. We're now back to building the legacy, because only 4 times has a team gone down 3-0 in the finals and actually pushed it to a Game 6. And the last time was in 1996 with the Seattle Supersonics. I happen to be covering that series, and I know what it did for Gary Payton and Sean Kemp to be able to push that series to 6 games.
So what you're telling me,
Michael Jordan,
what you're telling me is that even in defeat, Luka can now elevate his legacy, as opposed to at Friday by 3 o'clock, the time we were doing this show, it could have been tarnished in entirety had he gotten swept. Even in defeat, he can elevate it. Getting
beaten by these Boston Celtics who are so unproven. And why did we believe that the Dallas Mavericks had the capability of actually winning this series? Which, again, if I look at Cleveland and LeBron in those instances, or Shaq in Orlando versus the Houston Rockets, no one was expecting them to win. We were expecting the Dallas Mavericks to, at the very least, make this a competitive series. Because of the way that Luka Doncic was playing. And for all of those out there, including my friend James Jones over there, who have just beaten the drum on Luka Doncic and his defense, and that's the problem. Defense has not been a problem with these Dallas Mavericks. The offense has been, and that is the domain of Luka Doncic. And we saw when he gets everybody involved, what they can do in Game 4. He hasn't done that consistently in this series, and that's why they're down 3-1.
I want to show you and the viewers something, then I want to ask you about what I'm going to show you. I was looking at LeBron in 07 when he got swept, and I wanted to compare him to Luka right now through 4 games. Now, Luka has more points. Luka has more boards. Luka has a better assist-to-turnover ratio, 23-16, LeBron 27-23. Luka obviously has more steals. That's through 4 games. I'll give you a second to digest.
No, I got it.
Now, we look at LeBron 17 years later, and we say what he did in 07 was miraculous, how he drug that team to the finals, and we don't talk about how he got swept. But by legitimate metrics, right now we're in it, so we're kind of lost in the sauce. Oh, Luka's awful, so many turnovers, not enough assists, he's terrible. But I think we'll look back 17 years later maybe and say, hey, can you believe that Luka, with only Kyrie, and Kyrie didn't even show up for 2 of the first games, can you believe what Luka was able to do, taking that Boston team led by a Hall of Famer in Tatum, a Hall of Famer in Jaylen Brown, probably a Hall of Famer in Jrue Holiday? Can you believe what Luka did? Is that the narrative that will actually exist when we're away from all of this?
Well, I don't have all of the numbers for the games in 2007. But the way the game is played and the way offensive numbers have been inflated to this day changes the metric. I can't help but take that into consideration. And I don't know that even at that time that LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers were as LeBron-centric as this Luka Doncic team is. The usage rate for him, he keeps setting it at a higher and higher bar. And to me, that makes a difference. If you got the ball all the time, you're inherently going to get big numbers. So I can't look at it just through the prism of how the statistics match up, because the statistics in today's game are just inflated beyond what they were in 2007.
Well, what I need your opinion on is this, because when I heard this, Slick, I was shocked, I was appalled, to some degree I was disgusted. Jason Tatum. They asked Jason Tatum about closing the series out. And Tatum said, it's not the end of the world if we don't win tonight in Boston. We still got a game 6 and a game 7. As the leader of the team, how do you even fix your lips to utter that phrase in a must-win type of situation?
We should talk about this.
We will talk about it on the side of commercial break. Y'all better get ready. Don't forget, check us out every day, Fox Sports Channel, Sirius XM.
Really good year. He's not making $30 million like Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? Same with running backs. Running backs, just because you may be average and you had a good year, you're not resetting the Christian McCaffrey market. You're making under that. You know what I'm saying? It's the quarterbacks that, no matter how good you are, that's resetting the whole market. You know? So receiver-wise, I still believe that they're doing it the right way. This is how we value you on the football team. This is how good you are. You don't got no all-pros. You don't got none of that, so you shouldn't be in this Justin Jefferson conversation. CeeDee Lamb and the Devontae Adams and the Cooper Kupps, the all-pro receivers, that's a whole different conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because those is the elite of the elite.
I do agree with your overall point. Like, I do think there's going to be a bubble with the receivers where maybe there's only 5 or 6 guys or teams are willing to pay $30+ million a year. But CeeDee Lamb is one of those guys.
Yeah, that's
I
what
absolutely
it is now,
think
though, ain't it?
Well, you got Justin,
AJ,
you got AJ,
then
Tyreek.
JJ, Tyreek, then Jamar finna do it.
Look at who we're talking about.
I don't
The best
disagree.
in the world.
I'm saying, but I put CeeDee Lamb in that class.
Me too, but
Absolutely.
you guys, at least how I'm taking it is you're talking about like the Nico Collins, like the receivers that are good but not all pro good is making $30 million. That's not the case at the receiver
I think what Acho also was touching on, Pauls, is that we see all these young guys like Jamar Chase came right from college to the pros and got busy.
got busy,
Right?
got
JJ,
busy.
right?
Yeah.
Jefferson
Got
came right
busy.
from college to the pros, got busy. CeeDee Lamb, right? He was solid, right? He wasn't even number one.
When Amari Cooper dipped
So
off,
once
he
we
got
see it could be
busy.
nice, we let our number one guy go that we didn't have to do.
Yep.
So CeeDee could be the guy.
Yep.
So when I say all that, it's like, do I got to pay this guy right here all this money because he's balling?
Correct.
Or I go in the draft, give me a rookie, because he's going to do the same thing at a
Correct.
lower rate.
That's
And
because
I understand that's fresh on your mind, but it's been a lot of rookies that have been drafted really, really high.
What about recently, though? I'm talking about
That
recently.
has not
Recently
been
they
good.
get
If we do recently, they all young and getting
for the
busy.
most part, get busy than don't get busy that are first-round picks. Because even think about
So
go
really
ahead,
quick,
sir.
not to cut you off. So are you saying pay CD last and let him walk?
What I'm saying is,
Because you could find a CD?
Think about what's going on with Brandon Ayuk and the Niners. Ayuk is nice, all pro, hard to do, and all pro on a team with George Kittle, who might go into the Hall.
what's the
McCaffrey,
difference?
who might go into the Hall. What's the difference?
That is the
You're
difference.
naming a ton of all pros in San Francisco. CeeDee Lamb is Dallas's whole offense.
That's it.
It is.
I'm paying CD.
But my thought process is, if you're Jerry, you might think to yourself, because he saw it, okay, wait a second. Do I pay CD 30? Do I pay him 30? Or do I try to find somebody like I'm alluding to and Chady's alluding to, but obviously pay CD if you got it to pay. Or do you try to say, you know what? Do I pay CD 30 or go find another CD? Because he found CD like this.
But
Don't get it twisted.
this is the thing, though. We're going into this year. The draft over.
Yeah.
We're going into this year, and you telling me that Dak Prescott is not going to have CeeDee Lamb? I can't name the other receivers on the team. Dak Prescott will not have a good year, and the Dallas Cowboys will not be good on the offensive side of the ball if CD is not in that building.
But my thing is, they should pay CD. CD's that good, right? I'm just speaking on, like, he talked about the market crashing. And I was saying, the only way it could crash if it happens like that, where from now on, instead of paying these guys all this high money, let's go out there and get a rookie. I'll give you an example. So let's say that they move from Stephon Diggs from Buffalo, right? And then Keon Coleman comes in and balls out. Everybody's going to steal, like, yo, we're going to steal this model. Everybody's going to do that.
That's my point.
That's all I'm saying. So.
I think that is going to happen. And that's, like I said, I think there's only going to be a few guys teams are willing to pay at this level. I think CD is one of them. And James, I don't...
CD top 5 for
I don't
sure.
say this to, I respect the receiver position, but, like, if CD doesn't show up, he will eventually. He's on a $17 million salary. He's not going to miss $1 million a week. That's my thing.
Don't give up no money, but
You can tag CD as well. I think the tag for next year, if it comes to that, would be $25 million, which is actually a bargain for CD Lamb. Again, the biggest priority here is the guy that you don't have a way to keep on your team, and that's Dak Prescott.
Well, staying in
that
Dallas,
for
I got to get to the
last 2
NBA
years.
Finals. And in order to do that, let's talk about Luka Doncic. Dallas Mavericks, he found a way to avoid getting swept. But, family, Game 5 is tonight, just hours away. If you're talking hoops on national television, you got to be talking to this fan, Slick Rick the Bucher. Otherwise, you're probably, to some degree, wasting your time. One of the best opinions, one of the best minds in all of basketball. So, Slick, let me ask you this, and this might be the most pertinent basketball question that can be asked today. Did Luka Doncic, can he save his legacy with the win tonight?
No, he already saved it.
Oh.
Avoiding the sweep was a save. And by the way, for all those, because I said this, that he needed to win that to save his legacy. A lot of people brought back, well, didn't LeBron James get swept not once but twice in the finals? And his legacy seems to have been intact, seems to have found his way back. Didn't Shaquille O'Neal get swept in the finals? Yes. But in all of those cases, LeBron twice got swept by a defending championship team.
Okay.
Shaquille O'Neal got swept